Hello everybody, today I'm going to share with you what I've done so far on my stitchery book for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery for 2022. A lot of you already know about this project that will be ongoing for 6 months, and it's brought to us by Roxy Creations, by who is Rachel, and then her sister Sarah, who is Roxy Creations by Sarah, and I believe their mother is taking part as well. She doesn't have a YouTube channel, but I think she has an Instagram account. And they're going to guide us into making a book of stitchery for 6 months of the year. We've already started it. We were advised to find a book. We didn't have to worry about binding the book or anything like that, just for the size of it. I had this old book because I'm trying not to just go out and buy stuff for this. Castell's German Dictionary. You can see the state of the spine, so I had no problem pulling this book apart. I purchased it mainly for the pages for journaling, you know, to add decorative pieces. So I'm using the front and the back cover of that. And this measures almost just short of 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, and the spine is yet to be determined. So that's what I'm basing my book on. Haven't really given much thought to decorating it. It will be covered or semi-covered. It might like just have a piece and leave the edges showing. I don't know yet. I think we're going to be doing that further along. So it's just the front and the back cover. And then inside I'm using these linen as the base of my pages. And this linen comes from some bags I found at the thrift store. I found about 4 of these bags. They were all pinned together and they were $1. And they are linen, so I thought, well, that's handy fabric, you know, because linen can get quite pricey, so this was nice and cheap. And as you can see, I've cut parts of it out to make the pages, and there's plenty of spare bits left as well. So that's what the base of my book will be. I have done my title page. I was so impressed with Sarah's title page. I loved the shape of what she did. So I was inspired to make a similar one as she'd done design-wise, and followed kind of the guide that she gave, how she clipped out flower images and put them on. So I had this doily here, and as you can see, I've clipped out some of the flowers on there and a little bit of the lace from up the top, and that's the lace there. And these little embroidered flowers, they're all from the doily. I've put some lovely little beads in the flowers. These are some check glass beads. They were also found thrifting. So this minimal cost so far. I have some wool in a stem stitch going up both sides. Now, wool, I generally have embroidery thread. That's pretty much my threads. So I was on the lookout to find some thicker yarn, because I don't have I have a nice selection of colors and things, but the actual thickness and types of threads I've got, I don't have a great selection. But I did find this, which is a long stitch set, and it was, I think it was only $1 or $2, but it had all these wools in there in lovely, lovely colors. So I grabbed that, and so I used some of that, and that was from the thrift store also. I used some of that on there. I've got some fabric flowers and some messy French knots in the center of them. I have some blanket stitch in pink here, and to kind of blend it all in, I've used seed stitches. Now this part in the center here is actually made up of three different pieces of linen fabric. there's this top part here which has the lace on it. There's this center part here which was from the same doily, but these two side pieces here are from something totally different that were on my desk, because this part here wasn't wide enough, so I had to extend it wider. So it's just sort of made up of little patches, and then I seed stitched over it to hopefully blend it in so it just looks like one. And then I've used a stem stitch, I think, to write my of stitchery, and two little daisy stitches at the bottom there to kind of look like a heart. And then this journal part has been couched on, and Rachel showed how to do that on her title page. Was it on her title page video? I think it was. And then just a few little seed stitches to sprinkled around there as well. And that's all I've done. I've used this beautiful blue fabric, which is a part of a pillowcase found thrifting, and that's what it looks like. So I'll just bring it up closer so you can have a look. And I think it looks nice and happy. I do want to use pretty colours throughout my journal. It makes me feel good at the moment using these colours, so that's what I'm going to be doing, as much as I love more neutral tones as well. You know, you get you need a break, and you like to use different things, and so this one's going to be nice and colourful. I think it suits the whole slow stitching process. So that's that page. And then these are the individual double pages made out of the linen. And so they're my sample pages right there. And I've just pinned them to the linen, as you can see. And I have used some, I think it's muslin, and that's from Crafty Me Shop, as my sample base pieces. And they're stitched to the white. And the white, let me just show you, this is actually an old linen sheet that I just ripped up. I ripped it rather than cutting it, because I just want it to have a nice relaxed look. This is not a fine needlepoint book. It's not heirloom embroidery. It's casual slow stitching, and I've got to keep that in mind. So here are the first 10 stitches, and these are the second 10 stitches that we've learnt. And I love this. What is that? That is satin stitch. I love the way, I think it was Rachel showed us how to do the little back stitch and then go over the top of the outline to give that really nice finish, and I love that. So I did like 2 straight stitch ones, one on an angle, but I left these 2 with the back stitch to remind me of how to do it. And I love the feel of it. It just looks really nice. So I've done all my stitches. I've done some messy French knots. I really like that. I saw that on Pinterest a little while ago on a piece of work, and I thought, oh, that is so good. And I've used that on a few projects over the last few months. I may have used it before then, not knowing what it was, like a mistake or something, but yes. So there we go. That's all my sample stitches, and I just went around the outside of that with a running stitch, and I haven't attach them to my page as yet. I'll do that when I'm comfortable about knowing how I'm going to be doing my book. So there we go. I love the way they've taught us how to incorporate different, like that's a blanket stitch, but then you go back and you put another thread with it in a different color, and it gives it a different look totally. Or even just, you know, grouping this blanket stitch in different lengths, how it can give another effect. This little blanket stitch here was done in a variegated thread, and it looks really, really good. Now, I found this thrifting with a few other, and I wasn't sure whether I liked it, but now I've used it. I really like it, and I've used it on a few things because I found it a little while ago. So it just goes to show you. And another one I haven't used was the, what is it called? Colonial Knot. I've never done those before, and they look really, they're fun to do, those ones. They were really fun to do. So this has been fun, and I'm excited to be doing more pages and things like that as we go along, as I'm sure lots and lots of other people are as well. And so that's my book. That's what I've done. But I was... what's that from? Oh, that's from something else. Oh, isn't that pretty? That's from something else. I did get a couple of things before Christmas when Rachel and Sarah both showed us they introduced the project to us. They were saying not to go out and buy too many things, but I had, I was looking for a Christmas gift for myself for Christmas. My husband and I both agreed that we wouldn't buy each other gifts, but we would buy, if we wanted something, we would buy what we wanted. I had no idea what I wanted. I was too busy sort of thinking about other people, but I had, from Anne Brooks' Instagram, she showed some lovely, lovely items. I think she was doing a giveaway, and they were Merchant and Mills items, and I fell in love with the whole look of them. And so I was searching, and so I did put an order in for those things, for a few of those things for myself, inspired by Anne, but I will be using in this project. But from Rachel, I bought myself a couple of the books that she recommended, and there weren't many of these available, and this was only a couple of weeks before Christmas, so I think I was very fortunate to be able to find these two books. Now, I have read this one already, and it was thoroughly enjoyable, and it does have some stitches in it as well. And I just want to say I got this from, just for those Australian ladies, because I tried to purchase within Australia, mainly because of shipping at the moment. It is, I'm sure it is the same all around the world. It's really slow, and some places we cannot even ship to at the moment, and other places to order from overseas, it takes such a long time to get here. So I was trying to order things within Australia, and preferably, you know, closer to home. Not that that makes a great deal, but this particular book came from a place called Can Do Books, and that's in Victoria, Australia, and I got them all before Christmas, so I was very impressed. So I got that one from Can Do Books. Oh, is that right? Yes, that's right. Oh, that's the inner thing. It's a lovely book. I sat there and read that on Boxing Day, and it was so nice to just kind of read it and get some ideas and be inspired by what she's talking about. I'll just put that back in there. And this one here, this one was hard to find as well. This came from sewnandquilted.com, and I think this is actually in Queensland, this particular online shop. I think it is. I can't see it on here, and it doesn't really matter. But anyway, it's sewnandquilted.com. I found that one in. And that one has some beautiful different stitches. Some of them I haven't seen them before. A little bit more advanced, like a chain rose stitch and things like that. So that will be very interesting. I haven't read it and fully looked through it yet. And it stands up like that. So it'd be handy if I ever get a bit of room on my desk to have it on my desk. So I got those two recommended by Rachel. And as I was saying, you know, I saw Anne with these other products, and oh, I did order one more book. When I was looking for those, I found another book, and this was from Booktopia, and this is the Merchant and Mills sewing book, and it is a beautiful, beautiful looking book. I've just had a flick through, and it's so nice. I haven't read it yet. I'm really waiting for the right moment to sit down and have a good read, but I've left those on. It's a proper sewing book. It has lots of like tools and equipment and how to press things and seams and zippers and basic sewing techniques. It also has a couple of patterns in the back of the book to make, what is it, a fisherman's top and a tailored shawl. But when I was flicking through, I actually see that they show you how to make a tailor's ham. And I've wanted to make a tailor's ham for quite some time now. Look, ironing board covers, how to make those. Here we go. Making a tailor's ham. Earlier in this year, I found a piece of woolen fabric at the op shop, thrift store. And it's pure wool, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm thinking I can use it on my tailor's ham. You got a fabric piece from wool and another from cotton or calico. Now, normally the wool is like a checkered wool on these sorts of things, but it's really, really pretty, this fabric I found. So I'm hoping to be able to make, oh, they've got 2 different styles. That's wonderful. So I will share that with you when I've made that, but I don't know when that will be. But I'm so looking forward to reading through this book and trying to bring myself up to date with sewing clothes and things again. I used to make clothes years and years ago, but I'm so out of touch with it, you know. And I will just show you because I want to, and I love them, and I think they're wonderful. What I got for the Merchant and Mills. One store I bought from is called John Watts Sewing and Quilting. That's a Queensland store, so that didn't take very long. I found this while looking for something else, and this was inspired by Anne when we were doing the 52 tags, but it was also inspired by a lovely lady, I think, I'll put it on the screen. I was watching her Christmas vlogs before Christmas, and it was a lot of fun. She sews clothes and things, and she had gifts from different stores. And so I was sort of, every time she'd mention, I'd go and have a look and see. And I came across these lovely Merchant and Mills products, and I was like, yay! So I got myself one of the smaller needle threaders. I do want to get one of those fancy ones that I've seen Rachel use, and I've also seen Anne use, the thicker metal ones. I thought this was it, but it's not. This one's a lot bigger. This is more for woolen yarns, this one, as you can see, but surely it will be handy for something, and then a bodkin. But so I got those 2. I love the packaging. Isn't the packaging just wonderful? And I got the smaller needle, I'll take that out, needle threader. They all need to come out of the packaging anyway. I was just enjoying it for a little bit longer. So that's that for normal, for normal threads there. And then I got some finest needles, and all this packaging I'm going to save and put it in a fabric journal for myself, I think, because it's too good. So some nice needles there, which look lovely. And then I bought some entomology pins. And yes, they are for insects and things, but they're also very good for fine fabrics. I actually bought 2 boxes of this. This was the second package I received. I bought long darners. So that's just an assortment of long needles, longer needles. I mean, they're not ridiculously long. They're just a nice size, and they come in, you know, different lengths. So they're kind of like that. And I love the little wooden packaging on that one as well. So I got all that from John Watts, and then I got another package which was actually ordered first. So I did double up on something, and that was the Entomology Pins. So I've already opened this one, and look at this. Isn't this sweet? It's got the little like seed packaging way of doing things, and these are the pins. So you may have noticed in the journal I've used these pins to pin the pages on, so that's nice. And this is a fun kind of gift. Like, they're fancy pins, but you know, it's nice to have something fancy every so often, isn't it? And this was a gift for myself for Christmas, so that's all I need to say. So I got those. And that one is from a place called House of Cloth. This is the one I found. I think I'll put it on the screen. Something Dahlia, I know that, or Dahlia Society, the Dahlia Society, I think she's called. And they have lots of different things, and they're Australian, and they're from Bendigo, which is in Victoria. So I got the Entomology Pins. I got some of these safety pins, the French Colorless nickel safety pins. And what I mean by colorless is they don't have that little circle at the end there. They just go around, and that's it. They normally go like that, twist around and go back up, but these just go around, and this is the first time I've been able to find anything like that, so that was nice to find. I also got some baby bow scissors, and these are tiny, and I have used them, but I put them back in here to show you. So they're tiny. They've got a little M on them. I did have to oil them up. They were a bit stiff when I got them. And surprisingly, my finger and thumb don't get stuck in them. A lot of small scissors, you know, you're trying to get them out. But these ones aren't too bad. And I think it's because you don't feel tempted to put your fingers in too far. So I got those lovely little scissors. But I also got the wide bow scissors as well, which are a larger set, and once again I did oil them up. You can still see a little bit of oil there, and I just use a bit of sewing machine oil on them, just a drop around here, just to get them going a little bit. But they do look nice, don't they? And I don't know what it is about scissors. It's the same as tape measures. I just like them. And I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people have a ton of scissors. I don't even know how many I've got. Far more than I need, but it was Christmas, so there we go. What else did I get? Oh, yes, a tape measure. A lovely tape measure that's a coated, what does it say? A coated cloth tape measure. So I got myself that. I got some beeswax as well. I also got a bamboo point turner. Perfect tool for turning out corners. Its soft texture does not put excess stress on fabric or stitching. Now, I normally use my purple fang, but sometimes that can be a bit too sharp. And this is nicely rounded, so that will come in very handy indeed. So I did get that, and then lastly I got 1 dozen easy thread needles. I got these hoping to make my needle threading easier, and that is one there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me see if I can put that on a bit of, oops, where's it gone? Black background, and you may be able to see the end of it. Can you see? And what you do is you get a thread. Where's the thread around here? I have so many needles with thread in it. Okay, get a little bit of thread. And, you know, sometimes a thicker thread like this can be a little bit more difficult to thread. And I thought, well, that sounds good. And that will thread quite easily. You see how that's just gone straight through there? Yeah, I can pull that through quite nicely. That's quite secure. I won't pull it too hard because obviously it will come out. And I have tried this out and it works fine. But what I didn't think about and what I would have liked it to work with, I'll just look for a piece of fabric here and show you that it does work fine. I've got so much fabric I can't find a piece. It's usually the way, isn't it? Okay, here we go, a piece of this. I will just, it works fine. See, that pulls through fine and it doesn't come out or anything like that. But what I never thought about was when you're using embroidery threads, unless it's just one thread, it splits into several. You know, you've got 6 threads. They are more difficult to use in this, I found, because, you know, I don't know, they separate or something. So I will have to use this just for single threads, but much easier to thread than some needles are. So I hope you have enjoyed seeing what I got here for Christmas. I have started getting a little, oh, here we go. I have started getting just a little tray. It's just a cardboard tray, and started putting some things in that I might like to use in this book, but I'm not going to go overboard because it's easy enough to grab. I did, however, see, these are all from the op shop or thrift store. I did, however, put all my little packages from Lisa Matic from the forage, what is it called? I got that for 6 months last year, that as a Christmas gift. A subscription, that's the word. I haven't used them yet, and I thought this might be the perfect starting point to start using some of these bits in my journal as well. So I've put those in there, and then under there I've got a few bits and pieces, linens and things like that. So, but I think each month might head in a bit of a different direction, so I don't want to be getting too much out for it at all. And of course, little bits like this. Isn't that pretty? That's just a doily. Oh, that was for another project, and I had to cut the centre of it out. It's so pretty, so I'll put that in there as well. That will be lovely. Okay, have to go now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you liked all my little bits and pieces that I got in my books, and of course the start of the Journal of Stitchery. I hope you've enjoyed seeing that as well. Okay, everybody, take care, and I'll hopefully see you very soon. Bye.